Introduction. We all use power tools both at work and around the house. Statistics tell us that hand and power tools are involved in thousands of accidents and injuries every year. Many of them are serious, some even fatal. The purpose of this training program is to provide a short safety overview of the common hand and power tools that are found in workplaces, workshops, and garages around the world. We'll also cover personal protective equipment, basic electrical safety, and what to do in the event of an accident or injury. The important thing to remember is that accidents and injuries caused by hand and power tools can be prevented. They don't have to happen. If you stay alert and aware of what you're doing, then your chances of having an accident or injury decrease dramatically. We can't possibly cover all the hazards, but by following the basic principles outlined in this program, you can greatly reduce your risk. Dress code. First and foremost, know and follow your company's dress code and personal protective equipment requirements. Company policies differ, but don't wear any rings or jewelry in a shop environment. Rings, bracelets, or necklaces can get caught on tools, materials, or equipment and can cause serious injuries. The same goes for loose-fitting clothing or neckties. If you have long hair, keep it under a hat or tied back to prevent it from being pulled into moving tools or machinery. Wear leather-topped work shoes. They offer superior protection from light impacts, abrasions, and chemical spills. Make sure the soles are non-slip and are in good condition. Personal protective equipment. Eye protection is critical when using hand and power tools. A good habit, and often a company policy, is to wear appropriate and approved eye protection whenever you're in a shop environment, whether you're working or not. We realize that safety glasses, goggles, and face shields can be uncomfortable, but injuring or losing an eye is much, much more so. Think about it. Wear eye protection in the shop at all times to reduce the risk of eye injuries. Dust masks are also required under certain circumstances or when you're working with certain types of materials. Just remember that a dust mask protects you from dust only. It offers zero protection from chemical fumes. Ask your supervisor for more information. Common hand tools and equipment. Screwdrivers. Believe it or not, serious injuries and even deaths have been caused by misusing the common screwdriver. To help prevent injuries, use the right size and type of screwdriver for the job, and do not use it if part of the tip or blade is broken off. Never use a screwdriver as a chisel. It can easily slip and cause an injury. Also, never carry a screwdriver in your pocket, as it can puncture seat cushions, mar surfaces, and even puncture you. If you need to carry any tools, use an approved tool belt. Wrenches, sockets, and bench vices. Wrenches may not immediately come to mind as a safety issue, but there are a few things to consider. To avoid skinned or cut knuckles or other painful hand injuries, keep in mind the following safe work practices. Don't use excessive force. If the wrench slips off or the bolt or nut loosens suddenly, you could get hurt. If you assume the wrench is going to slip, your force will be more measured and the injury can be prevented. Make sure that you're using the right size wrench and that it fits snugly on the nut or bolt. Don't use inch wrenches on metric fasteners and vice versa. They're not interchangeable. If the jaws or threads on adjustable wrenches are loose or have excessive wear, they must be taken out of service, discarded, and replaced. Never use what is known as a cheater bar or a pipe extension on any wrench. A cheater bar extends the leverage of the wrench and in turn can exceed the safety rating, resulting in tool breakage and possible injury. There are other methods of loosening a frozen bolt or nut, such as a striking tool and penetrating oil. Ask your supervisor if you need assistance. When using socket wrenches, never mix the three types of sockets: hand sockets, power sockets, and impact sockets. They all must be used on their respective tools or they can be easily damaged or ruined. Bench vices go hand in hand with using hand and power tools, and some of the same safety principles apply. First of all, they should be bolted or securely clamped down to a sturdy workbench or table. Vices are very heavy. You don't want one to fall on your foot. The jaws of the vise must be in good condition, free of cracks, chips, or excessive wear, so what you're working on won't slip or fall out. Damaged jaws must be replaced. Battery-operated hand tools. When using any power driver or drill, make sure the bits are sharp and in good condition. Sharp bits will help prevent you from using excessive force, which can lead to strains, slippage, and injuries. Use only a chuck key to keep the drill chuck tightened. Do not use pliers, screwdrivers, or other devices. Also, some drills have chucks that must be tightened by hand only. Dead man switches are required on all handheld power tools. This means that if you release the power trigger, the tool must shut off. If a trigger sticks in the on position, the battery should be removed or the cord unplugged, the tool tagged, taken out of service, and reported to your supervisor. Charge rechargeable batteries only in their designated chargers for the recommended period of time and replace any battery that has leakage or will not hold a charge. Electrical Safety Review. Before we cover corded power tools, it's important to quickly review the power portion of the equation, which, of course, is electricity. Before you use any power tool, inspect the power cord. Check it for frays, cracks, breaks, or loose connections, and never carry a power tool around by its cord. Make sure the third prong on the grounded power cord is not missing. The ground prong is there for an important reason, to protect the user from shock. Also, don't use a 3-prong to 2-prong adapter. These are unsafe in the workplace as well as in your home. Do not yank electrical cords from receptacles. Pull them out easily and carefully to prevent damage to the cord or receptacle. Power conditioner strips with fuses are okay to use with power tools, but do not use octopus plugs. The circuit can become overloaded by these and cause a fire. Some hand power tools do have a 2-prong power cord, and this is because they're double insulated on the inside and don't require a third ground prong. A double insulated tool will be labeled accordingly by the manufacturer and is safe to use. Of course, never use electrical equipment around or in water. Water conducts electricity, and you could get shocked or electrocuted. Make sure and report any bad cords or other problems to your supervisor or foreman immediately. The safety of everyone depends on it. Power saws. There are a number of types of power saws in shop or construction environments, including handheld circular or skill saws, table saws, band saws, radial arm cutoff saws, and rack-mounted panel saws. Although each of these saws is designed for different tasks, they all have common safety issues. First and foremost, do not use any saw unless you're trained and authorized to do so. Never, under any circumstance, remove, tie back, or disable any guard. This is a major OSHA safety violation. Make sure all guards are in place and in good working order. All saw blades should be sharp, with all teeth intact, and fastened tightly to the machine. Follow all manufacturer directions and instructions. Wear the appropriate eye protection for the job. Do not wear gloves when using saws. They can get caught in moving parts and pull your hand into the blade. You can wear gloves when handling rough materials, but remove them before starting the saw and cutting material. Use the proper blade for the material being cut. Another important rule, never use your leg as a sawhorse. This is a major hazard. If the saw slips or kicks back, it can cut into your leg and cause a very serious injury. Use a wooden push stick when cutting small items on a table saw to prevent hand injuries. Drill presses. Like bench vices, make sure drill presses are securely clamped or bolted to a sturdy surface before use. Use the right type of drill bits for the job and make sure they're sharp and in serviceable condition. Don't use excessive force when operating a drill press. Even steady force will get the job done right. Don't rush. Again, do not wear gloves or loose clothing when using power tools, and keep long hair under a cap or tied back. Accidents and injuries. First and foremost, report all accidents immediately, regardless of severity. First aid or medical treatment will be provided as required. Also, report any near misses so hazards can be identified and corrected. It might not miss the next time. Our company investigates all accidents thoroughly to both determine the cause and the corrective action needed to prevent a similar accident or injury from occurring in the future. Summary and wrap-up. We can't cover all hand and power tools and their various uses and applications in this short training program. However, if you consistently follow the basic principles outlined, you'll reduce your chances of getting hurt or damaging equipment. Stay alert. You only have to let your guard down one time to experience a near miss, accident, or injury. If you have a question about any safety topic, please ask your supervisor. Thank you for your attention and work safely.